So for this week's project, we're going to be turning this beautiful old speaker into a smart speaker with AI. So we just moved into the new Schematik office and it looks amazing, but there's one thing that's a little bit off, which is the vibe. We don't have music, there's no sound in the office. And obviously we can buy something cool like a Sonos or a Bluetooth speaker or whatever, but I thought it'd be way cooler to turn something as old as this, I think these are like 40 years old, into something new that we can use. These old speakers are often like super good audio quality. They just don't have the modern conveniences like Bluetooth, Wi-Fi. They don't allow you to play from their phones. As always, we start with planning, and the planning we do with Schematik. So let's open up the tool, and you might see our new website design here. I'm very happy with the way it turned out. So let's ask it, I have an old speaker that I want to turn into a smart speaker. So it's now asking me a question, do I want to stream music via Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, MP3 player? I think for now Bluetooth is fine. We can maybe broaden that later on, but let's keep it simple for now. All right, so it's come up with a diagram here. There's a little amplifier and there's the boards. So I'm actually reading something here that's quite interesting. It says that it can power a 3-watt speaker. Now, 3 watts sounds quite small, so I'm gonna ask, does it actually work for a big speaker as well? Turns out we need some other parts, so it's good that we caught that early on. But yeah, there's some good parts here, so let's just go and order those parts. So we have all the parts now, so let's just grab them and unbox them where we need to and kind of like put it all together so that we can start the assembly process in which we'll need to do some soldering. This is the I²S DAC module. So according to Schematik, this is kind of the device that turns a digital music signal into an analog one. So the other thing we're gonna need is our amplifier. This one is really cool. This one is expensive, but the reason it's expensive is that it can power a big speaker. So that's really cool. We need a so-called buck converter. Yeah, this is the buck converter. It's a very tiny device. Don't know if you can see that. So we have all the parts now, so let's just grab them and put it all together so that we can start the assembly process in which we'll need to do some soldering. So now the kind of scary things start, which is that we actually need to connect all of this up. Some of these can actually connect without having to solder, so they have pins up there, which is really, really useful. But some of these, like this bad boy and this bad boy, need to be soldered. I guess we gotta get soldering. I'm not a great solderer yet, as you might have seen so far, because the solder is not coming off. So I put the temperature to 400. Let's see if that makes a big difference. Yeah, it does. There we go. And I just wanted to say during this thing, like, I have so little skills with soldering, and I'm doing this, and hopefully this project will succeed. And the goal here is then to make you confident enough that you can actually do this yourself. So let's go ahead. I'm already really excited about all the YouTube comments saying like, oh, this guy has no idea what he's doing. I think that's kind of the point here. Like, you can do this, and you should do this. And then the way you'll learn it is by doing stupid stuff, and then, you'll get better. All right, so we're done with soldering, and I have to say I'm kind of happy we're done with it because it was quite a thing. If you've made it this far into this video, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe, like, comment on this video. All of these things really, really help us with our growth. And if you don't like anything here, please let me know as well, or if you have any ideas on how to make this better, please let me know in the comments. Really want to learn here and make a great channel for you. So I just found a new issue that we need to solve, which is in this, I don't know if you can see it, but this amp we soldered on, this is what you call female pins. And I think something went wrong big time here because I can't put a jumper cable in it. But instead what I'm gonna try to do to save some time is I'm actually gonna solder the cable on directly. So instead of like making pins and putting it here and being proper, I'm just gonna solder these connections straight to the board. That will just save me some time. So let's do that, and then we can hopefully finally do the final assembly. So we finally have all the parts, and I think it's time to connect the speaker, flash the board, so putting the code on the board, and yeah, just to see what happens. I'm a bit nervous, but you know, we're here. And there is a problem that we can fix with Schematik. It seems that there is a compile error, so let's fix that. Okay, so Schematik fixed its own issue. This is the cool thing in Schematik, like sometimes with hardware you won't get it right on the first go, but what is really cool is that once you iterate on whatever you're doing, it will probably show you on the second go. It says Bluetooth ready, pair with smart speaker, so let's have a look. See whether this is working. I see a smart speaker on my device. Look, that is really cool. And see if we can play music. We can, and it's also showing that it's streaming. Amazing. But hey, this is so cool. We're playing music. It doesn't sound fantastic yet. I mean, the sound sounds fantastic when the music's playing, but it doesn't sound fantastic yet when there's nothing playing. So let's discuss that with Schematik and see how we can fix it. There's a high-pitched static. So the issue seems to be that we need to kind of make the cables a little bit less long. That will reduce the static. So let's do that tomorrow. So this thing is actually one of our troublemakers here, because this thing needs to have wires go in and out. So actually I think I made a mistake here. Actually I should have put pins under this so that we can put this thing on a tiny breadboard and wire everything really small-ish there. Let's go ahead and make a new buck converter. Big lesson here for me, but also hopefully for you, is order everything a few times so that if you screw it up, you can try it again in a different way. These types of things are actually pretty cheap to order. They're like $3, I think. So I think, you know, when you do a project, you're always gonna need a part in another project in the future. So maybe, you know, order it twice. So let's go ahead and actually solder new pins on this one, and then I think we can continue to make this thing a little bit smaller. So speaker's still working, but to be honest, I think we're still hearing quite some static. So I don't think it has done a lot of improvements, even though we did a lot of work. And I think we're just gonna have to live with this. I think that's the truth. Sometimes you can't fix it without doing really complicated work. So we're just gonna live with that. But hey, I think there's also some more fun that we can add. So what I want to do now, add a display to the mix. Now we have tons of displays, but I think for this one we can just use something quite simple. Here, yeah, this is perfect. To be honest, just a tiny display I think would work just fine for this project. Can you add a simple OLED display that dances to the beat of the music? Alright, so we've got it all wired a lot better now, and I guess it's time to turn everything on again. Wow, it is so cool to see it all working. I really cannot believe it. We've made it play music, we've added a screen to it, and now we're gonna build a casing around it. So what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be measuring every single item, noting down what the different dimensions are, and also measuring between these round holes to understand how far those are apart. Once we know all of that, we can write all of that down in the notebook, and then we can put it into a 3D program. And now I think it's time to build the 3D design. So I'm just gonna use this program called Shaper 3D. I think there's tons of programs like this. I like Shaper 3D, but I think you can use whatever you want for this, and I'll obviously share the files of this one as well. So this took a while, but I'm quite happy with the way this design looks. And now it's just time to print it and assemble it. The 3D printing is finished. Let's have a look. This is the case. I love the way this is looking, and in the inside there's actually some places to mount the screen. But let's first go ahead and see if the screen will mount. So yeah, That looks really cool. The screen is mounted now. So yeah, the other things that we need to do is just kind of like put everything inside, kind of glue it together and get at it. So we got the bottom plates. And yeah, that looks pretty cool. So let's bring it into the office and see if we can make the vibe nicer.
Billboard, baby, do a leap and make them dance when they come on. Everybody looking for a dance floor to run on. If you wanna run away with me, I know a galaxy and I can take you for a ride. I had a premonition that we fell into a rhythm where the music don't stop for life.
What's your thoughts? I think the speaker sounds good. I think we have to work a little bit on the static, but I mean, it sounds incredible. I've got a speaker of what, like 800 euros at home, and it sounds like comparable to this. So what are you doing?
Now, this is a crazy project. I love how much we did. We went from designing it to assembling it, soldering, fixing bugs, building a casing, and now we have a beautiful, smart speaker with a cute dancing smiley in the office. It's gonna add so much fun. I think this is one of the coolest projects I've ever done, to be honest. If you like this and you wanna see more of this, follow, subscribe, whatever, and let me know in the comments, what should we do next? I have tons of ideas, but I would love to hear from you. What do you wanna do? What are you struggling with? What kind of projects do you find interesting? And yeah, see you in the next one.